Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel and welcome to the 1985 playoffs in season ticket baseball. We have a full weekend of wildcard action, so we're going to jump right into it without too much fanfare tonight. We are live at Riverfront Stadium tonight for the first National League wildcard game between the Montreal Expos and the Cincinnati Reds. We will take our look at the playoff brackets. In the American League, we see the California Angels and the Toronto Blue Jays are set to start their American League Division Series. Then in the wild card game, the Kansas City Royals will be hosting the Detroit Tigers tomorrow morning. The winner of that will go play the New York Yankees in the American League Division Series. Moving over to the National League tonight, we've got the St. Louis Cardinals and the Houston Astros waiting to start their their National League Division Series. I'm so excited I can't even talk straight tonight. The Los Angeles Dodgers are waiting for the eventual wild card champion, and the New York Mets are waiting for the winner of tonight's game at Riverfront Stadium. So it's time now to stop the talk of standings and magic numbers, all of that fun stuff. Now, the math is as simple as it can get for all of these teams. Win or go home. Tonight is a one-game playoff, as every game this weekend will be. So, we are expecting a sellout here at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. This should be a great game between two scrappy teams who kind of both backed into the playoffs a little bit, if I'm being perfectly honest. But we will see which team will move on. And we're expecting a sellout here. The pregame festivities are wrapping up for the wild card game, so let's jump right in. Starting pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds tonight is Mario Soto, 12-15 with a 3.58 ERA, 256 and 2/3 innings pitched, 214 strikeouts, 104 walks, and 30 home runs in 1985. While the rest of the Reds are getting loose behind Soto, we will take our first look at the Expos starting lineup. Leading off tonight, we have got Herm Winningham in center field. Hubie Brooks is at shortstop. Tim Raines is in left field. Vance Law is at second base. Tim Wallach is at third base. Andre Dawson is in right field. Terry Francona is at first base. Mike Fitzgerald is catching. And the starting pitcher tonight for the Montreal Expos, we'll meet him from a pitching perspective, is Bryn Smith. That is the lineup the Reds need to keep in check if they're going to get to New York. Leading off for the Expos tonight is Herm Winningham. 237 average, 3 homers, 21 RBIs in 85. We are using red, white, and red dice tonight. Reds are the home team. We are starting this race to the World Series with 11 teams. For one of these two teams, the dreams of the 1985 World Series die here. Soto will look into Diaz for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and in order to find out what the dice know about which team's dreams die here, we have to go to the same place that every other game has started at. That is with the first pitch of the 1985 playoffs. We are starting off with a 268 against a lefty at 268. Winningham's into one. That is deep to center field already. Winningham with a power of a 2. Does he give the Expos the lead right off the bat? Literally. He won't give him the lead, but that will drop. That will drop in front of Venable, and that actually center fielder. Hold on. Yep, that still will drop in front of Milner, and that will be a base hit for Milner or for Winningham. And we are underway here at Riverfront Stadium. The infield will go to double play depth for the Reds as Hubie Brooks steps into the batter's box. 269 average, 13 home runs, 100 RBIs in 85. Winningham, not really a threat to steal. Actually, I'm looking at it now, and actually he might be a pretty good threat to steal. So the Expos are going to try it here. Winningham's going to try to get the jump on Soto. He's got a steal of a 5. He's got to beat a 10 hold. Winningham will get the jump. Catcher is Diaz with a 4-arm. Winningham's going to take off. He's going to head to second base. He's got a speed of 4, and he's got a beat of 14 from Diaz. And Winningham's going to get in there. The tag, it's a really close play. Diaz called for a pitch out. It was a pretty good pitch out, but Winningham is able to slide in. He is safe at second on the stolen base. Stadium groans. Ugh. That is a huge play by Winningham to take away the double play. Soto will now turn his attention to Brooks. He will get the sign from Diaz. He will set. Here's the kick, and here comes the pitch. That's a 426 against a righty. A 426 is going to be a ground ball over to short. Picking that one up for the Reds is going to be Concepcion. He will make the play. That is out number 1. Winningham will make third on the play. The infield already having to play in on this one. Tim Raines is now the batter. 320 average, 11 home runs, 41 RBIs, and 85. With the infield in, let's see. Let's look at the arms. Krenchicki. Winningham's going on contact. Soto will get the sign from Diaz, and he will pitch. That is a 571. 571 is going to be grounded right back to Soto. The throw has got to come to the plate. Winningham with a speed of a 4. He's got to try to beat an 11 to the plate. Actually, he gets all 3 dice. And the throw from Soto is off the mark. Winningham will score easily, as Raines will beat that out with a single right back to the pitcher, and the Expos will take an early 1-0 lead. Stadium groans. Ugh. The infield will go back to double play depth for the Expos, and Vance Law stepping into the batter's box. Hang on, I'm just going to make another quick note here. .266 average, 10 home runs, 52 RBIs, and 85. Raines is not going to do anything crazy here. He will hold. Soto, could the Expos bunt here? Law's got pretty good power. He's going to swing away. Soto will get the sign from Diaz, and he will pitch. That is a 560. That'll be grounded over to Concepcion at short, and it's a ground ball right at him. Concepcion will move that over to Krenchicki at second. Krenchicki will throw that over to Rose at first. That'll be in time. That'll be a 6-4-3 double play, and the side is retired. But the Expos strike first. 1 run on 2 hits. Score is now Montreal 0, Cincinnati coming to bat. Starting pitcher for the Montreal Expos tonight is Bryn Smith. 18-5 with a 2.91 ERA, 222 and a third innings pitched, 127 strikeouts, 41 walks, and 12 home runs in 85. As the rest of the Expos get loose behind Smith, we will take our first look at the Reds' starting lineup. Leading off tonight, we've got Eddie Milner in center field, Bo Diaz is catching, Dave Parker's in right field, Pete Rose is at first base, Wayne Krenchicki is at second base, Max Venables in left field, Nick Esaski is at third base, Dave Concepcion is at shortstop, and Mario Soto is the starting pitcher. That is the lineup Smith will have to keep in check for Montreal to be headed to Broadway tonight, or after tonight. That game, the winner of this one will play the Mets on Sunday afternoon. Leading off for the Reds is Eddie Milner. .254 average, 3 home runs, 33 RBIs, and 85. And once again, I will see you guys at the top of the second. As Smith now takes his turn at the mound, he will get the sign from Fitzgerald. Smith will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is going to be a 640. That'll turn into a 650, and that'll be a ground ball over to third base. Picking that up for the Expos is going to be Wallach. He will make the play over to first, and that is the first out of the inning. Excuse me, I'm gaseous tonight. Bo Diaz now steps into the batter's box. 261 average, 3 home runs, 15 RBIs in 85. Smith will look in at Fitzgerald for the sign once again. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 465 against a righty. A 465 is going to be a ground ball over to second. Picking that one up is going to be Law. He will throw that over to first for 2 outs in the inning. Two outs, and Dave Parker is now the batter. 312 average, 34 home runs, 125 RBIs in 85. Smith looking at Fitzgerald for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 241 against a lefty. 241 is going to be popped up, is going to pop Parker up on the infield. Getting under that at third base is going to be Wallach. He will make the play. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Reds here in the bottom of the first. Montreal holding a 1-0 lead after 1. Fans here at Riverfront Stadium are already loud, hoping the Reds can get this game done so they can head to New York. Top of the second, and we are looking at the middle of the Expos order. Here's Tim Wallach. 260 average, 22 home runs, 81 RBIs in 85. Soto will get the sign from Diaz. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 597. That's going to be into right field where Parker is waiting for that one. And a 597. That's going to get to the wall past Parker. Wallach will be safe at second with a leadoff double. Andre Dawson will now take his place in the batter's box. 255 average, 23 home runs, 91 RBIs in 85. Soto looking a little bit nervous. Riverfront Stadium hoping the Reds can get around a leadoff double. Soto will get the sign from Diaz. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 681. And a 681. Dawson's going to get into that one. That's going to be a base hit, and the Expos are going to extend their lead. Wallach will come around to score. Dawson will go to first, 2-0 in favor of the Expos. Stadium groans. Ugh. Infield at double play depth, and here's Terry Francona. 267 average, 2 home runs, 31 RBIs in 85. The Expos are going to go for a hit and run here. They want to stay out of a double play situation. Soto will get the sign from Diaz. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 365. And a 365, that's going to be a fly ball into left field. Getting under that one is going to be Venable for the Reds. He will make that catch. That will be out number 1. As Dawson will trot back to first. 1 out, and here's Mike Fitzgerald. 207 average, 5 home runs, 34 RBIs in 85. Hit and run is going to be called off since Fitzgerald has decent power. He's also not a good enough bunter that the Expos are going to trust it. Dawson will edge off of first. Soto will get the sign from Diaz. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 499. Oh boy. 499 against a righty. Fitzgerald thinks he's into one. That is deep to left field. Fitzgerald with a power of a 4 Expos already leading this one 2-0. Do the Expos double their lead? Fitzgerald gets into that one, but he knows he got under it. That's going to be a fly ball into left field. Venable will track that down. He'll have enough room just before the track. He'll make the catch, and that will be out number 2. Bryn Smith will now step into the batter's box for the Expos. 2 outs, top of the second, Montreal with a 2-0 lead. Soto will get the sign from Diaz. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 160. And a 160 is going to be a called strike 3 on Smith as a slider gets by him. That will retire the side. Nothing across except for the hit. Actually, I take that back. One run on 2 hits. And the Expos now have a 2-0 lead heading into the bottom of the second. I will mention that we have no fast score tonight. There will be no clutch roll in my house rule either. As this is an elimination game, both teams will have to land and evade the death blow themselves as far as the postseason is concerned. Smith will finish up his warm-up tosses as stepping into the batter's box tonight. Next, we have Pete Rose. 264 average, 2 home runs, 46 RBIs, and 85. Smith will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 581. That's going to be into center field. Center fielder for the Expos tonight is Winningham, and that's going to be a fly ball right at him. Winningham will track that one down with no problem. He will make the catch, and that will be out number 1. As Rose gets under that one, but an easy play for Winningham. Wayne Krenchicki, now the batter. 272 average, 4 home runs, 25 RBIs, and 85. Expos holding a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the second. Smith gets the sign from Fitzgerald, and he will pitch. That is a 212, and a 212 against a lefty is going to be a ground ball over to second. Grabbing that one for the Expos is Law. He will throw that over to first. 2 outs in the inning. Everybody being extra careful in this one tonight. Nobody wants to make that fatal mistake. 2 outs in the inning, and Max Venable is now the batter. 289 average, no home runs, and 10 RBIs, and 85. Smith will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 254. And against a lefty at 254, Venable is going to come through, extend the inning with a base hit. And he will be the first base runner that Cincinnati has tonight. Nick Esaski, now the batter. 262 average, 21 home runs, 66 RBI, and 85. Venable, not much of a threat to steal. He will hold, as the Reds also don't want to run themselves out of the inning. Smith will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set. Here's the kick, and here comes the pitch. That is a 616. That'll turn into a 626, and that'll get popped up on the infield as Esaski is going to lift that one about a mile high. Getting under that at second base is Law. He will call everybody off in the infield grass. He'll make the play, and that will be out number 2. No, actually, that will retire the side. I lied. Nothing across except a single for the Reds. The Expos holding on to a 2-0 lead after 2. Winner goes to Shea Stadium tomorrow afternoon to face the Mets. The loser goes home. Only the dice know which one that's going to be, and we are in the process of finding out. The top of the third brings us back to the top of the Expos order. Here's Winningham. Winningham has a single, and he stole a base today. Also scored the first Expos run. Soto looking in at Diaz for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. We'll re-roll that because that's cocked. That is a 241 against a lefty. A 241 is going to be a swing and a miss as Winningham is in front of a changeup for strike 3. That is out number 1. One out in the inning, and here's Brooks. Brooks is 0 for 1 tonight. Soto looking in at Diaz. He will get the sign. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 451 against a righty. A 451 is going to be a swing and a miss as Brooks misses on a curveball for strike 3. Out number 2. Raines is now the batter. Raines tonight is 1 for 1 with a single. Soto looking in at Diaz for the sign. The Reds could badly use a 1-2-3 inning. Soto will set, and he will pitch. That is a 399, and that's not going to be a 399. Instead, that's going to be a boom! High, deep, gone! Home run, Tim Raines. Expos extend their lead. "3-0 Expos. Stadium groans. Ugh. Here's Law. Law hit into a double play his first time up. Soto has got to shake that one off. He will get the sign from Diaz. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 472, and a 472 against the righty is going to be a ground ball over to third. Picking that one up is going to be a Sasky. He will throw that across the diamond, and that will retire the side. 1 run on 1 hit. That 1 hit is a solo bomb by Vance Law. The Expos now have a 3-0 lead as we head into the bottom of the third. Bottom of the third brings us to the bottom of the Reds order. Dave Concepcion leading off for the Reds. 252 average, 7 home runs, 48 RBIs, and 85. Smith looking in at Fitzgerald for the sign. He's got to be feeling mighty good with a 3-0 lead as the offense for the Expos seems to be alive. Smith will set, and he will pitch. That is a 466. Concepcion against a righty with a 466 is going to ground it over to third. Grabbing that is going to be Wallach. He will throw that across the diamond, and that will be out number 1. One out, and Mario Soto will take his warm-up swings. Smith looking in at Fitzgerald for the sign. Soto waits for the pitch. Smith will set. Here's the kick, and here comes the pitch. With a 581, that's going to be into center field. Center fielder is Winningham, and he'll make that catch on the trot. He'll have to come in for that one slightly, but Winningham will get to that. That will be out number 2. Milner, now the batter. Milner's 0 for 1 tonight. Smith will get the sign from Fitzgerald. Riverfront Stadium is loud. Well, they're stunned right now at what they see. Smith will set, and he will pitch. That is a 662. That'll turn into a 672, and that's going to be a bloop single for Milner as he will continue the inning with a 2-out single. And here's Diaz. Diaz is 0 for 1 tonight. Milner, not a threat to do much on the bases. He will hold. Smith will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 528. That's going to the catcher, Fitzgerald. And that's going to be a passed ball. And that'll send Milner over to second. We will do that again. And just make sure, yep. So Milner will go to second on the passed ball. That'll be ball 1, and we'll do it again. That's going to be Cox, so I'll re-roll that. And that's going to be a 346. And a 346. Diaz is going to pop it up on the infield. Francona will get under that one on foul territory. He'll call everybody off, and that will retire the side. Nothing across except the hit for the single for the not for the Orioles, for the Reds. Score is now 3-0 Expos after 3. Reds need to get their act together here, or this is going to be a short postseason for them. Top of the 4th brings us to the middle of the Expos order. Here's Wallach. Wallach tonight is 1 for 1. He's got a double. Soto will get the sign from Diaz. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 433 against a righty. A 433 is going to be grounded over to short. Concepcion will take that ranging to his left. He will throw that over to first, and that will be out number 1. Dawson, now the batter. Dawson has a single tonight. Soto will get the sign from Diaz. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 265, and against a righty at 265 is going to be a fly ball into right field. Tracking that one down is going to be Parker. He'll have room near the track. He'll make the catch, and that will be out number 2. Francona, now the batter. Francona flew out his first time up. Soto, looking in at Diaz for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 501. That'll send us for a rare play. So let's see what happens on this rare play. Let's see, 342. 342 is going to be batter safe at second on a throwing error by the pitcher. Let's see if I can set this up. So E1, 2-base error. Charge the error to Soto. So I'm going to have to, looks like I'm going to have to manual command this. So runner advances R1. Come on. There we go. I want Francona to be at second on the, there we go. That was a 2-base error on Soto. Bad time for an error if you're a Reds fan. Batter now is Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald flew out his first time up. Francona finds himself at second on the free bases by Soto. Soto will get the sign from Diaz. He will set, and he will pitch. That is going to be a 332. And a 332. Fitzgerald is going to get frozen by a slider for strike 3. That will retire the side. Nothing across except the 2-base error for the Expos. And that's the first time the Expos have been held scoreless in tonight's game. The Expos still hold a 3-0 lead heading into the bottom of the 4th, however. Bottom of the 4th brings us to the heart of the Reds order. Here's Parker. Parker popped up to third his first time up. Smith will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That's a 457 against a righty. A 457. Parker's going to get into one into the gap. He will be safe at second, and that's going to be a double for Parker. Reds needed that one. Parker's on, and the next batter's Rose. Rose is 0 for 1 tonight. Smith will look in at Fitzgerald for the sign. Riverfront Stadium, now loud. Smith will set, and he will pitch. That's a 440. And Smith and Rose against the righty, 440, is going to be a ground ball over to second. Picking that one up is going to be Law. He will throw that over to first. That'll be out number 1. Parker will make it to third on the play. And I have to say, I really like this new book this new scorebook that I invested in for for the playoffs. The infield will play in. They don't want any funny business tonight, as the batter now is Krenchicki. Krenchicki tonight is 0 for 1. Parker has to go on contact. No choice here. Smith will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set. Here's the kick, and here comes the pitch. That's a 242. Against a lefty, a 242 is going to be popped up on the infield. Getting under that at third base in foul territory is going to be Wallach. He will make that catch, and that is out number 2. Two outs in the inning, and Venable is now the batter. Venable has a single tonight. Expos holding on to a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the 4th with 2 outs. Reds trying to get on the board. Smith will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 630. That'll turn into a 640, and that'll be a ground ball over to first. Francona will grab that. He will wave Smith off coming over to cover the bag. Francona will take it over himself, and that will retire the side. Nothing across except the leadoff double for the Reds, but the Reds can't get anything from that. Score remains 3-0 Montreal after 4. Stadium groans. Ugh. The Expos are holding on to a 3-0 lead as we get set for the top of the 5th. Bottom of their order coming up first. Leading off is Smith. Smith struck out looking his first time up. Soto actually pitching not a terrible game, but his offense has got to give him some help. Soto will get the sign from Diaz. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 181. And a 181 is going to be a leadoff walk as Soto loses control of a changeup for ball 4. Smith will trot to first. As a terrible play by Soto leads to the leadoff man. Let's tab back into Digital Diamond. As the leadoff man in the form of the pitcher gets on. Not one out. The infield going to double play depth for the Reds. Here's Winningham. Winningham is 1 for 1 with a stolen base. Winningham is going to just swing away. Actually, they're going to try a hit and run. Soto will get the sign from Diaz. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 498. And a 498 against a righty is going to be a K, which gets modified with the hit and run on. Batter misses, which means Smith has got to try to steal with no lead. And the catcher's Diaz. Smith has got an arm. Diaz has got an arm of a 4, so Smith somehow has to beat a 14 over to second. And Smith is predictably going to get thrown out as Diaz called for a pitch out. He sensed something wrong. He gets the pitch out, and Diaz is going to easily nail Smith trying to go to second. 1 out in the inning. As Diaz easily gets the ball there in time to put the tag on. Infield doesn't need to be a double play depth. 2 strikes on Winningham now. He will swing away. And we will do it again. This time it's a 627. And a 627 is going to get popped up on the infield. Getting under that is going to be Concepcion. He will make the catch, and that will be out number 2. The Expos tried to stay out of a double play, and instead it backfires on them. Here's Brooks. Brooks tonight is 0 for 2. Soto looking in at Diaz for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 325, and that's going to be a fly ball into right field. Getting under that one for the Reds is going to be Parker. He will make the catch, and that will retire the side. Nothing across except the walk for the Expos. They are still holding a 3-0 lead here at the halfway point as we head into the bottom of the 5th. Bottom of the 5th brings us to the bottom of the Reds order. Here's Osaski. Osaski is 0 for 1 as Smith finishes up his warm-up tosses. Smith will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That's a 642. That'll turn into a 652, and it'll be a ground ball over to third. Wallach will get after that one. He will throw that easily across the diamond. Out number 1. Concepcion, now the batter. Concepcion is 0 for 1. Smith holding on to a 3-0 lead for the Expos. He will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. A 386. And a 386, Concepcion is going to get on base with a base hit. I will get Digital Diamond to catch up. The infield will go to double play depth, and the batter now is Soto. Soto tonight is 0 for 1. The Reds are going to try to lay down the bunt. The corners are going to come in expecting the bunt. Concepcion waits on first. Smith will get the sign from Fitzgerald. Soto all set for the bunt. Smith will set, and he will pitch. That's going to be a 398. And a 398 based on his contact rating of a 1. A 398. What happens with a K on a bunt? I'm pretty sure. Oh, wait. No, you total that. Never mind. So it's actually 1720 plus his bunt rating of a 25. So all runners are going to advance. Soto will put down a good bunt. Concepcion will make it to second. Batter out if arm plus. So where was that hit on a 25? That was hit to third base. Wallach was in as the infield was expecting it. Wallach's got an arm of a 4 plus 3 is 7 because the corners were in. Soto's got a speed of 1, so he's got to beat a 17 over to first. And a 15 is close, but it won't get it done, as that'll be a good sacrifice bunt. Wallach will get that one. He'll take the sure out at first. 2 outs in the inning. Batter now is Milner. Milner is 1 for 1, and he advanced on a passed ball. Smith trying to get the Expos out of the inning. Smith will get the sign from Fitzgerald, and he will pitch. That is a 285, and against a lefty, a 285 is going to be a fly ball into right field. Getting under that for the Expos is going to be Dawson. He will take his time, track it down, and that will retire the side. Nothing across except the single for the Reds. The Expos are holding on to a 3-0 lead here in Cincinnati after 5. Top of the 6th brings the heart of the Expos order back up. Here's Raines. Raines is 1 for 2, but that 1 was a solo bomb back in the 3rd. Soto will look in at Diaz for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 248. And a 248 against a switch left is going to be a called strike 3 on Raines. Curveball catches the outside corner for strike 3. That is out number 1. As Soto does a beautiful job painting the corner to get the call. 1 out, and here's Law. Law tonight is 0 for 2. Soto will look in at Diaz for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That's a 469 against a righty. 469. Law is going to get into 1. That's going to get all the way to the gap, and Law is going to be safe at 3rd with a triple. The infield has got to play in. Wallach is now the batter. Wallach is 1 for 2 with a double of his own. Law with a speed of 2. Let's check the arms again. 1, 0, 1, 0. Law is going on contact. Soto will get the sign from Diaz. Fans at Riverfront Stadium hoping Soto can get around a 1-out triple. Soto will set, and he will pitch. 586. That is into center field. Center fielder is Milner, and a 586 is going to be a fly ball into center field. Milner will track that one down. Is that a can try or a must try? I'm pretty sure must challenge. Okay. So Milner will track that one down. He will make the catch. 2 outs in the inning. But here comes the throw from Milner, an arm of a 6. Law has got to beat a 16 to the plate. Not even close. Law is not even going to bother sliding, and the ball gets there. The ball gets there when Law is halfway down the plate. He'll walk into the tag for the 3rd out of the inning, and that will retire the side. Nothing across except the triple for Law, and the Expos holding on to a 3-0 lead heading into the bottom of the 6th. I'm just making sure I get all that updated here. That's just perfect. I was watching to make sure Digital Diamond didn't do anything ridiculous on me. We are going to start getting a little bit of activity in the Expos bullpen because they don't want any funny business in this one. I'm just going to look at the rotations for the Expos so I know who not to warm up. Let's see. They are looking at, mostly lefties. The Expos don't need to eat up innings necessarily. They're going to get... The Expos are going to get Bert Roberge warming up in the bullpen. He will get up and start throwing for the Expos as Montreal holding a 3-0 lead heading into the bottom of the 6th. Leading off, we're near the top of the order. Here's Diaz. Diaz is 0 for 2 tonight. Smith holding on to a 3-0 lead for Montreal. He will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 654. That'll turn into a 664, and it'll be grounded right back to Smith. He will throw that over to Francona at first for the 1st out of the inning. One out, and here's Parker. Parker tonight is 1 for 2 with a double. Smith will look in at Fitzgerald for the sign. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 603. That'll turn into a 613, and that'll be a swing and a miss by Parker as the changeup fools him badly for strike 3. That is out number 2. Smith pitching well tonight, and here's Rose. Rose tonight is 0 for 2. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th, Expos holding a 3-0 lead. Smith will look in at Fitzgerald for the sign. He will set, here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 200 even. That'll turn into a 400 even against a switch left, and against a righty, that'll be a walk for Rose as he'll work a 2-out walk out of the at-bat. Smith losing control of a slider, and that'll be the first point of pitcher fatigue against Smith. Krenchicki will now be the batter. Krenchicki's 0 for 2 tonight. Smith looking in at Fitzgerald for the sign. Riverfront Stadium starting to stir a little bit. Smith will set, and he will pitch. That is a 595. That's going to be into right field. Going after that is Dawson, and a 595 is going to be a fly ball right to Dawson. He will go back for that one a couple steps, but he will make the catch. And just as quickly as Riverfront Stadium tried to come to life, they go quiet again. As there's nothing across except for the walk for the Reds, the Expos are still holding a 3-0 lead after 6. As ID Jester is now first to join us here at Riverfront Stadium. Yes, I'm done eating the birthday cake. I don't know if you've watched the episode yet, but it was okay. Nothing to write home about, but yeah, that's everything there. My acid reflux is acting up something fierce. Anyway, that's not something to dwell on here, as before we get into the top of the 7th, we are going to get some activity in the Reds bullpen. Let's see who the Reds want to start getting loose. Let's see, they're looking at righties. Actually, pretty good mix for the Expos. They're going to get more lefties or righties. More righties, I think. So the Reds are going to get... Their bullpen is not that good against righties. The Reds are going to get Rob Murphy warming up. Soto's probably on a fairly short leash at this point. Leading off the top of the 7th, we've got Dawson. Dawson tonight is 1 for 2 with a single tonight. Expos holding a 3-0 lead. They are 9 outs from a trip to Shea Stadium. Soto will get the sign from Diaz. He will set, and here comes the pitch. That is a 463 against a righty. A 463. Dawson's going to get into one into left field. That's going to be a double. Left fielder for the Expos is Venable, but Dawson is going to be content with a leadoff double and the first point of pitcher fatigue against Soto. Batter now is Francona. Francona tonight is 0 for 1 with an error. And he's reached on an error. Dawson hanging out at second base. Soto gets the sign from Diaz. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 173. And a 173 is going to be a walk, as Francona will trot to first with another walk, and that'll be the second point of fatigue against Soto. The infield has double play depth available to them again, and here's Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald is 0 for 2. Murphy continuing to throw for the Reds in the bullpen. Robert warming up for the Expos. Pitcher's spot is due up next. Soto will get the sign from Diaz. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 619. And a 619 is going to get popped up on the infield. Getting under that is going to be Krenchiki. The infield fly rule will be called, though. That'll be 1 out in the inning. And here's a tough decision for the Expos. Do you let Smith continue to pitch? Actually, I think right now you do kind of have to pull. I think right now you need runs. So Smith is going to come out of the game. Roberge is going to keep getting loose for the Expos in the bullpen. Coming in to pinch hit for the Expos. Hang on, just going to make some notes here. I've just got to decide who's going to come in and pinch hit. Somebody who hits righties well and has decent power. I think we'll go for the... Who are the Expos going to bring in to pinch hit? The Expos are going to bring in Andres Galarraga to pinch hit. 187 average, 2 home runs, 4 RBI in 85. I'm just making a note in my book. There we go. Okay, now that we've got all that sorted out, the infield is at double play depth for the Reds, and that should be 2 points of fatigue against Soto. The Reds are trying to tell Soto to get through the inning. Soto will get the sign from Diaz. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 242, and against a righty, a 242 is going to be a called strike 3 on Galarraga, as a slider will get by him. That will be out number 2. Come on. Okay. Two outs in the inning, and the batter now is Winningham. Winningham tonight is 1 for 3 with a single and a stolen base. Riverfront Stadium, hoping Soto can get the Reds out of the inning with no damage. Soto will get the sign from Diaz. He will set, and he will pitch. 477 against Winningham against the righty. 477 is going to be a fly ball into left field. Venable will track that down for the Reds. He will make the catch, and that will retire the side. Just updating my box score here. Let's see, we had a hit and a walk, but the Expos can't do anything with it. It is now 3-0 Montreal as we head for the bottom of the 7th. We are at the 7th inning stretch. Saying, take me out to the ball game. I will take a small break. Don't forget, we have no fast score after tonight's game as the regular season is over. Tomorrow morning, we will be at Royal Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri, as we will be playing the American League wildcard game between the Detroit Tigers and the Kansas City Royals. Jack Morris will be going for the Tigers, and Brett Saberhagen will be on the mound for the Royals. That will be our game tomorrow morning. The Expos need a pitcher. Coming in to pitch for the Expos is going to be Bert Roberge. 3-3 with a 3.44 ERA. 68 innings pitched, 34 strikeouts, 22 walks, and 5 home runs in 85. He will face the bottom of the Reds' order. Here's Venable. Venable tonight is 1 for 2. Roberge looking in at Fitzgerald for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 555. Third base is Wallach, and a 555 is going to be a ground ball right to him, maybe slightly to his left. Wallach will get it at any rate. He will throw it across the diamond, and that will be out number 1. One out, and the batter now is Isaski. Isaski is 0 for 2. Roberge looking in at Fitzgerald for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 142. And a 142 is going to be a fly ball into left field. Getting under that for the Expos is going to be Raines. He will make that catch, and that will be out number 2. Concepcion, now the batter. Concepcion is 1 for 2 with a single. Roberge looking in at Fitzgerald. He will get the sign. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 656. That'll turn into a 666, and it'll be grounded right back to Roberge. He will throw that over to Francona at first, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Reds here in the bottom of the 7th. Montreal holding on to a 3-0 lead after 7. Looking at the top of the order, Soto is going to come out of the game for the Reds. They're going to go to the bullpen on this one, as the Reds cannot afford any funny business tonight. Coming in to pitch for the Reds is going to be Rob Murphy. No wins, no losses, a 6 ERA, 3 innings pitched, 1 strikeout, 2 walks, 1 home run in 85. Leading off the top of the 8th for the Expos is Brooks. Brooks tonight is 0 for 3. Murphy looking in at Diaz for the sign. Once this decides it wants to cooperate with me. Murphy will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 671, and a 671 is going to be a bloop single by Brooks. He will trot to first with a leadoff base hit. The infield will go to double play depth, and here's Raines. Raines is 1 for 3, but that 1 was a solo bomb. Brooks will hold at first. Not a threat to do much on the base path. Raines will swing away. Murphy trying to keep this game right where it is. He will get the sign. He will get the sign from Diaz. He will set, and he will pitch. And that's a very cocked die in there. I'll re-roll that. That's a 685. And a 685. Raines is going to get into one. That'll get into the gap, and that's going to be a base hit. Brooks will go to second. Raines will go to first. And the batter now is Law. Law today is 1 for 3, but that 1 was a triple. We're going to get some more activity in the Expos bullpen as starting to get loose for the Expos. Let's see, it's going to be a pinch hitter, lefty, righty. Gary Lucas is going to start getting loose for the Expos. We've got runners at the corners, actually. Brooks made it to third on the play. The infield, that actually changes the infield alignment. They have got to play in to keep the lead from getting any worse than it is. Brooks is not going on contact. Murphy will get the sign from Diaz. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 5-15, and that'll be grounded right over to Murphy. He will take the sure out at first for 1 out in the inning. Raines will go to second. Brooks will hold at third. Infield still in, as Wallach is now the batter. Wallach tonight is 1 for 3, but that one was a double. Murphy will get the sign from Diaz. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 362, and a 362 is going to be popped up on the infield. Rose will get under that one at first base. He will make the catch, and that will be 2 outs in the inning. Two outs, and the batter now is Dawson. Dawson is 2 for 3 with a single and a double tonight. Murphy trying to get out of the 8th. He will get the sign from Diaz. He will set, and he will pitch. That's a 271 against a righty. A 271. Uh-oh. Dawson's got into one that is deep to left field. Dawson's got a power of a 9. This could be the death blow. Can Dawson land the death blow with a power of a 9? That may be the end of the Reds season, as that's going to get out of here with a boom! That ball is hit high! That ball is hit deep to left field. Venable going back for that one. He is back to the track, back to the wall, and that ball is gone. Home run, Andre Dawson. As the Expos now open up a 6-0 lead on the Reds. Stadium barfs. Bleh. What a huge 2-out dagger for the Expos. Here's Francona. Francona's 0 for 1, but he's reached on an error and a walk. Reds are telling Murphy, get out of the inning. We have got way more than enough damage here. Murphy will get the sign from Diaz, and he will pitch. That is a 404. And against the lefty, a 404 is going to be grounded over to first. Rose will wave off Murphy. He'll take that to the bag himself, and that will retire the side. What a damaging, if not all-out fatal inning for the Reds. 3 runs on 3 hits. A 3-run blast by Andre Dawson makes the score 6-0 Montreal as we get set for the bottom of the 8th. And yes, Jester, I am expecting that 3-run bomb by Dawson to be the fat lady singing and Montreal's ticket to Shea Stadium. But before we get that far, let's see, so we're getting set here for the bottom of the 8th. The Expos, I know what I was going to do here. I was going to get some activity in the Reds bullpen because the Reds are absolutely, okay. We're going to get some activity in the Reds bullpen as starting to get loose is going to be... who is going to get loose for the Reds? It's going to be Mike Smith getting loose for the Reds. Murphy is coming out of the game. The Reds are going to pinch hit. So they're going to go to the bench. Roberge is coming out to start the 8th, but he will be on a short leash for the Expos as they don't want any funny business tonight. Coming in to pinch hit for the Reds, I think they need power here. They're going to turn, once I finish making some notes here, The Reds are going to go to Gary Ritas to pinch hit. 252 average, 6 home runs, 28 RBIs, and 85. The Reds are looking for any kind of spark here. They are trying to get this game. They need to get some kind of control on this game, but the Expos definitely came to play. Roberge will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is going to be a 685. Well, that might help get it started. That'll turn into a 695, and Ritas is going to lead off with a walk. He will trot to first, as Roberge will immediately lose control of a slider for ball 4. Ritas will go to first. The infield will go to double play depth, and here's Milner. Milner is 1 for 3. Roberge, actually, that should be the first point of fatigue against Roberge as well. Roberge will get the sign from Fitzgerald. I suspect the Expos will have Roberge on a short leash. Roberge will set, and he will pitch. That is a 388. And a 388 is going to be a fly ball into center field. Tracking that one down for the Expos is Winningham. He will make the catch, and that will be out number 1. One out in the inning, and Diaz is now the batter. Diaz is 0 for 3 tonight. 6-0 Expos, bottom of the 8th. Expos 5 outs away from a trip to Shea Stadium. That will be tomorrow afternoon. Roberge will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set. Here's the kick, and here comes the pitch. That is a 287 against a righty. 287. Uh-oh. Diaz thinks he's into one. That's it to left field. Diaz with a power of a 3. Does Diaz put the Reds on the board? It won't be on the board, but he will get that one to drop. He will get that one to drop in front of Raines, and that's going to be a base hit. We'll probably end up with runners at the corners. That'll be the second point of fatigue against Roberge. Yep. The infield. So Parker will be the batter. Parker is 1 for 3 with a double. And if I'm the Expos, what do I do here? If I'm the Expos, do I play for the double play to try to get out of the inning, or do I want to hold the runs? I think the Expos are going to let Roberge continue to pitch. They're going to stay at double play depth. Lucas needs a little bit more time to get ready. Roberge is going to look for the Expos are going to look for the double play here. They want the outs. And they're up 6-0 anyway. Roberge will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 638. That'll turn into a 648. And a 648 is going to be a ground ball over to third. Getting to that one is Wallach. He will throw that over to Law at second. That'll get Diaz. I just lost track of my call here. Oh, right. Law will try to make the relay over to Francona at first. It won't be in time, but that will put the Reds on the board. 2 outs in the inning. So what did we say? G54. So 2 outs in the inning. Ritas will score. Diaz is thrown out. Parker makes it to first. The Reds are on the board 6-1. But the Reds still have a long hill to climb. And here's Rose. Rose tonight is 0 for 2 with a walk. Roberge looking in at Fitzgerald for the sign. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. Reds now lead 6-1. Roberge will set, and he will pitch. That's a 483. Rose against a righty, 483. Rose is going to get into one. That's going to get to the wall. That'll be a triple, and that's probably going to be it for Roberge. as Parker will score. Parker will score. Rose will go to third, 6-2 in favor of the Reds. Batter now is Krenchicki. Krenchicki is 0 for 3, and that is going to be it for Roberge. The Expos are going to go to the bullpen. And coming in to pitch for the Expos is going to be Gary Lucas. 6-2 with a 3.19 ERA. 67 and 2/3 innings pitched, 31 strikeouts, 24 walks, 6 home runs in 85. His job, get Krenchicki out and stop this Reds rally. Lucas will get the sign. Lucas will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set and he will pitch. That is a 692. That does not look like stopping the Reds relay, or that does not look like stopping the Reds rally. That's going to be a 702. And Krenchicki will trot to first with a 2-out walk. The Reds are determined to make this interesting, as here come the fans at Riverfront Stadium. Batter now is Venable. Venable is 1 for 3 with a single tonight. Riverfront Stadium is very loud all of a sudden. Reds fans are starting to wake up. Lucas trying to stop this Reds rally. He will get the sign from Fitzgerald. He will set. Here comes the pitch. That is a 539. Uh-oh, that's not going to help stop the Reds rally either. First base is Francona, and Francona is going to drop that one on his way to the bag, and all of a sudden, the bases aren't full of Reds. Rose is going to score. Everybody's safe. 6-3 in favor of the Reds. Stadium cheers. Yay! Reds trying to bring some drama here in the bottom of the 8th. Here's Asaski. Asaski is 0 for 3. Lucas will get the sign from Fitzgerald. Fans at Riverfront Stadium are loud as the tying run is now at the plate. Lucas will set, and he will pitch. That is a 645. That's going to turn into a 655. And it's a ground ball over to short. Picking that one up is going to be Brooks. He will get that over to first, and that will finally retire the side. But not before the Reds climb back into this game with 3 runs on 2 hits and 2 walks. The Expos now hold a 6-3 lead after 8. And just like that, we go from the Expos in complete control to all of a sudden, we've got a game here. Yeah, it should be 6-3 Expos. I guess I have been saying that backwards, but yeah. The Expos lead 6-3 after 8. Reds need a pitcher. Coming in to pitch for the Reds is going to be Mike Smith. No wins, no losses, 5.40 ERA. 3 1/3 innings pitched, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, 2 homers in 85. We're also going to get some activity in the Expos bullpen. Montreal wants no funny business tonight. They're going to get Jeff Reardon warming up in the bullpen. Coming in to bat for the Expos for the top of the 9th is Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald is 0 for 3 tonight. Smith will get the sign from Diaz. 6-3 Expos, top of the 9th. Smith will set, and he will pitch. With a 562, that's over to shortstop Concepcion, and it'll be a ground ball right to him. He will throw that over to first for out number 1. Lucas is going to come out of the game. The Expos are going to go back to the bench. Coming in to pinch hit for the Expos, we have anybody else who hits righties decently well. The Expos are going to go, I guess they're going to go with their biggest gun here. Coming in to pinch hit for the Expos is going to be Fred Manrique. 308 average, 1 home run, 1 RBI in 85. Smith trying to keep this game right where it is to preserve Cincinnati's chances with 9th inning magic. Smith will get the sign from Diaz. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 575. That'll be into left field. Venable looking for that one. And it's going to be a fly ball to Venable. He will track that down at the track. 2 outs in the inning. Two outs, and Winningham now the batter. Winningham is 1 for 4. Smith looking into Diaz for the sign. He will set. Here comes the pitch. That is a 504. That'll give us a rare play with 2 outs. A 520 says, batter reaches first on a throwing error, and on a throwing error by the shortstop. Runners advance 2 bases. So that's an E6. And he's got to try to advance. Which one was that? That was a 520. So who does he have to challenge? He's got to try to challenge the catcher's arm. Catcher's arm is Diaz with a 4, Winningham with a speed of a 4. Can Winningham make it to second? Yes, he can. He will get in, and he will be safe at second. I'll have to sort this out with Digital Diamond, but that is a bad time for another throwing error. As Concepcion boots that one. Let's see if just runner... I was hoping just runner advances would do it with only 1 runner on, but Winningham will end up at second. Here's Brooks. Brooks is 1 for 4 tonight. He's got a single. Smith will get the sign from Diaz. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 139, and a 139 is going to be a fly ball into left field. Venable going back for that one. He will track it down, he'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. Nothing across except the error for the Expos as we get set for the bottom of the 9th. But will we see some 9th inning magic? The Cincinnati Reds are running out of outs as the Expos need a pitcher. Coming in to pitch for the Expos tonight, now is going to be the closer, Jeff Reardon. 2-8 with a 3.18 ERA. He's got 41 saves, though. 87 2/3 innings pitched, 67 strikeouts, 26 walks, 8 home runs in 85. His job is to get this game done and get the Expos to Shea Stadium tomorrow afternoon. Concepcion is now the batter. Concepcion is 1 for 2. Reardon will look to Fitzgerald for the sign. He will set. Here's the kick, and here comes the pitch. That is a 588. That does not sound like it's going to help them at all. That's Winningham, and that's going to drop in front of winning him. That'll be a base hit. The infield will go to double play depth. Smith is going to come out of the game. We're going to get some activity in the Mets or the Reds bullpen as John Franco is going to start getting loose. Coming into bat for the Reds, I should say, as Smith is going to pinch. They're going to pinch it for Smith. Let's see, righty. Do they have anybody? Okay. Apparently, I was going to use him, but I can't. Is he available? Yes, he is. Coming in to pinch hit for the Reds is going to be Tony Perez. 328 average, 6 home runs, 33 RBIs in 85. Expos wait at double play depth. Reardon looking in at Fitzgerald for the sign. He will set. Here's the kick. Here comes the pitch. That is a 308. And a 308 is going to be a called strike 3 on Perez as the splitter manages to catch the bottom of the zone. 1 out in the inning. Stadium groans. Ugh. One out in the inning, and the batter now is Milner. Milner is 1 for 4. Reardon looking in at Fitzgerald for the sign. He will set. Here's the kick. Actually, could they try a hit and run here? No, I don't think they hit and run down 3 runs. Reardon will set. He will pitch. That is a 628. That'll be a 638. And that's going to be a ground ball over to first. Grabbing that is Francona. He'll throw that over to Brooks at second. Brooks covering second. He'll try to throw that back to Francona. Relay won't be in time. That'll be 2 outs in the inning, though, as Milner will reach on the fielder's choice. And the last chance for the Reds comes down to Bo Diaz. Diaz tonight is 1 for 4. Reardon, Expos get the next out. They're headed to Shea Stadium. Reds get the next out. The Reds get Diaz on. The tying run in the form of Parker comes to the plate. Reardon gets the sign from Fitzgerald. He shakes him off a couple times. Then he sees a sign he likes. He will nod. Fans at Riverfront Stadium are on their feet. Reardon will kick. Here comes the pitch. That is a 172. And a 172 is going to be a fly ball into left field. Diaz slams his bat in frustration. He got under it, and he knows it. Going back for that is Raines. Expos bench jumping up and down. Raines will take 2 steps to his right, put out his glove, blop, and the ball falls into it. That's your game. The Montreal Expos eliminate the Cincinnati Reds in this first National League wildcard game by a final score of 6-3. Stadium barfs. Bleh. Final line score coming up. That 3-run homer by Andre Dawson turned out to be the death blow. For the Expos, 6 runs on 10 hits and 1 error. For the Reds, 3 runs on 7 hits and 2 errors. Winning pitcher in this one is going to be Bryn Smith. He will pick up the win. Mario Soto will take the loss, and Jeff Reardon will get the save. Bert Roberge will get the hold. But most importantly, the Montreal Expos will punch their ticket to Shea Stadium tomorrow afternoon for a date with the New York Mets. Before we get there, though, we are headed to Royal Stadium tomorrow morning. At least we don't have any of that fast score. Indeed not. We will be headed to Royal Stadium tomorrow morning, though, for the American League wildcard game, as the Detroit Tigers are looking for revenge from my 1991 season replay. The Kansas City Royals eliminated them at Tiger Stadium. Will the Tigers be able to flip the script on the Royals? As far as what else is coming up on the channel, Wednesday we're doing a third period test of APA hockey. Friday we'll do Pinot with Phoenix, and then Saturday we'll be out of a new cookbook for Mystical Munchies, but I'll talk about that during Pinot with Phoenix. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone. The Montreal Expos hold off a late inning charge by the Cincinnati Reds to eliminate the Reds by a final score of 6-3. Once again, take care, and I will see everybody tomorrow morning.